Okay, so during third period, we have announcements and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it, don't stand if you feel like it, say the words if you want, don't have to say the words. So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable. And I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around, he goes, oh, that one?
Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and the blood is due to Yahweh Bashim Mashakwa Malak Yahushai. Secondly, this is Brother Yardan W. Fighter Troy coming back at you with yet another quick cold cut. Today in this cold cut, I want to expound a little bit on that video we just seen, which is Satan dividing against Satan. Alright, you couldn't get away with doing that in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, not even the 80s or 90s. You put a damn LGBTQ flag up, all hell would break loose back then. But seeing as these evils get more advanced and, multiply day by day, the more Esau doesn't give a damn or respect their government and their authority, which is the so-called president, their governors, their senators, politicians, so on and so forth. They don't really give a damn about them anymore. Neither do they care what they think or believe. So as a result of that, they venture off in these new different ideologies and philosophies. Right now you have teachers being ever so bold to put a damn LGBTQ flag in a classroom and kind of insinuating whether she be joking. It's like whether she's joking or not, insinuating like, hey, you pledge to that. There's no unity in this country. All right, this is Matthew 12 and 26. I'll start at 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So America shall not stand because it is a kingdom that is divided against itself. Verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So if Satan is so busy dividing against himself, trying to get their thing in order, it's too much division and strife. It won't last too long. You understand? Now let's go to the past. Let's bring out Job 8 and 8. What does it say? For I inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. Right? And on one level, we inquire of our fathers. We look at the old scriptures, the so-called Old Testament, and we see what our forefathers did, whether it was right or wrong. Right? We look at it. We read the scriptures as reading. That's going into the history. You understand? But with that, we also go into the history of a few of the other nations because they put us in captivity. And you got to know your enemy. You understand? Let me bring out Daniel chapter 2. Daniel 2 and 41. Right? And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, This is America. America's defeat. They're the last nation that'll be the so-called superpower on earth. But there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Right? There's still a mighty so-called formidable nation in the eyes of the other nations, but it is still weak because why? It's a nation divided against itself. Whereas you look into the past, these other nations, they weren't really divided against themselves, right? Even history will tell you that, secular history. When you read about the Egyptians, there was no division amongst the Egyptians. They had a pure, so it's not pure in righteousness, but a pure hierarchy that was always established and it never wavered. The Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Persians. However, I will say that over time, these nations started to diminish in terms of one person being in rulership. It started with one person in the ancient past, for an example, Pharaoh. Now, today, you have a president that can't make all decisions, any decision that he wants, because there's certain things that can be vetoed. In other words, disnulled. But with that, that was a W5 quick cold cut. Abaratazat Israel stay sharpened, circumspect to the times that they're living in. Shalom.